My MIL called my husband's ex and invited her to stay with us while she was going through a hard time. When I told her that wasn't happening, she accused me of being jealous of someone more perfect for him. My mother-in-law, Diane, has never liked me. She's never even tried to hide it. From the moment I met her, she made it very clear that I wasn't the kind of woman she wanted for her son. She was polite on the surface, but everything she said to me had this edge to it. "Oh, you're a teacher? Vanessa was in law school, you know." "Oh, Jake likes his shirts ironed this way. Vanessa always did it for him." "Oh, that's sweet, but Vanessa already taught him how to cook this properly." Vanessa. 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 In case you're wondering, Vanessa is my husband's ex-girlfriend. They dated for 2 years, broke up years ago, and my husband, Jake, had moved on completely. He cut contact, never spoke about her, and as far as I knew, she wasn't even in his life at all. But Diane? She never let her go. She brought her up constantly, comparing us, dropping little comments that were meant to sound innocent but weren't. I put up with it, for the most part. I knew Jake loved me. I knew his mother was just stuck in the past. It was annoying, sure, but I wasn't about to start a war over it. But then, last week? Diane took things way too far. It was a regular Tuesday. I was finishing up work, just relaxing, when my phone buzzed. It was from Diane. "Diane, hey dear, just a heads up, Vanessa is going through a hard time, and I told her she could stay with you and Jake for a bit. She'll be arriving Friday. Please make sure the guest room is ready." I stared at my phone. Read it again. What the? She didn't ask if Vanessa could stay. She didn't suggest it. She just decided, on her own, that my husband's ex-girlfriend would be moving into our house like it was nothing. Like I was just some maid who was expected to set up a room and smile. Like my feelings didn't matter at all. I immediately called Jake. "Did you know about this?" I asked the second he answered. "What?" He sounded confused. "Know about what?" "Your mother just texted me saying she invited Vanessa to stay with us." Silence. "Then, she did what?" Jake got home 30 minutes later, and we called Diane together. The second she answered, I didn't even give her a chance to start talking. "Diane," I said, "why did you tell Vanessa she could stay here?" She sighed, like I was being difficult. "Oh, honey. She's just going through a hard time. She lost her job, she's struggling, and she needed somewhere familiar to stay for a bit. I just figured, since she and Jake were so close, they broke up years ago." My voice was sharp. Diane ignored that. She was practically family. "I didn't think you'd be so heartless about it." Jake finally spoke up. "Mom, you can't just invite people into our house without asking." "Oh, please. You've always been so kind to her. It's just a couple of weeks, what's the big deal?" "The big deal," I snapped, "is that she is my husband's ex, and this is our house, not yours." Then she laughed. Actually laughed. "Oh, sweetie," she said, like she was talking to a child, "I knew you'd say no. I even told Vanessa you might be jealous." I froze. "Excuse me?" "Well," she continued, like it was so obvious, "Vanessa was just always such a better fit for Jake, don't you think? I mean, no offense, dear, but she was always so put together, so elegant. I know it must be hard for you, being compared to someone like that." She said it like she was being nice. Like she was giving me a compliment. Like she hadn't just told me, to my face, that my husband's ex was better for him than I was. I felt my hands shaking. I glanced at Jake. His face was completely blank, which meant he was furious. But I didn't want him to handle this. No. This was mine. I took a slow breath. "So let me get this straight," I said. "You think Vanessa is better for Jake?" "Well," she sniffed, "I'm just saying, if things had gone differently, she would have made such a wonderful wife." I smiled. And if you've ever seen a woman on the verge of ruining someone's life, you know exactly the kind of smile I mean. "Got it," I said. Just wanted to be clear. And then? I hung up. Jake looked at me. "What are you thinking?" I smiled wider. "Oh, honey," I said sweetly, "your mother is about to learn a very, very important lesson." Jake didn't even ask. He just nodded. "Need help?" "Nope," I said. "Just sit back and watch." Because if Diane wanted a war, she just got one. I didn't waste time. The second I hung up on Diane, I grabbed my phone and started setting things in motion. First, I called Vanessa. Now, let me be clear, I had nothing against her personally. She wasn't the problem here. Diane was. And I needed to know exactly how much she was involved in this mess. She picked up on the second ring. "Hey, Vanessa," I said, keeping my voice light. "Just got off the phone with Diane. She told me you're staying with us Friday?" There was a beat of silence. Then, wait. What? Oh? I raised an eyebrow. "So, you didn't agree to stay here?" "No. She said she might know someone who could help me, but she never told me it was you." "Oh my God, I would never just invite myself to your house." "That's, wow. Just, wow." I almost laughed. So Diane hadn't just tried to force me into housing Vanessa, she lied to her, too. Interesting. "That's good to know," I said smoothly. "So, just to be clear, you don't need a place to stay?" "No, I already figured something else out. I got a temp place through a friend. I was gonna text Diane today to let her know." I could feel the rage bubbling under my skin. Diane really tried to force her own version of reality onto my life. She didn't just invite Vanessa into my house, she manipulated the situation to make herself look like the hero and me look like the villain. Oh, that's how she wanted to play this? Then I was about to burn her entire game to the ground. The next call I made? Diane's sister. Aunt Marlene was one of the few people in Diane's life who had zero patience for her nonsense. She was older, sharper, and absolutely savage when it came to calling out drama. The second she picked up, I let out a heavy sigh. "Hey, Marlene. Just thought you'd like to know, Diane invited Jake's ex to stay at our house without asking us." Dead silence. Then, she did what? Oh, this was gonna be good. She even told Vanessa I might say no, because I was jealous of her. Marlene snorted so hard I thought she choked. Oh, that woman has lost her mind. She sure has. Marlene was cackling now. Oh, I'm gonna have fun with this. I smirked. Thought you might. And that? That was step one. By the time I got off the phone, word had already spread like wildfire. Marlene tore into Diane like a hurricane. By the time she was done, every single one of Diane's friends, neighbors, and church ladies knew exactly what she'd done. And Diane? She lost her mind. I got 7 missed calls in an hour. Then a text, "Diane, how dare you spread lies about me? You're turning people against me." Oh, Diane. Sweet, delusional Diane. I smiled as I typed back, I didn't spread lies. I just told the truth. If you don't like how it sounds, maybe don't do things you don't want people to know about? Read. No reply. And just like that, Diane realized she wasn't in control anymore. I thought that would be the end of it. I thought Diane would shut up and back off after getting publicly dragged for trying to sabotage my marriage. But Diane? Diane doesn't know when to quit. 2 days later, she showed up at our house. Without calling. Without texting. Just showed up. And she wasn't alone. Standing next to her? Her pastor. I kid you not. Diane had dragged her church pastor to our house like I was some wayward sinner who needed a spiritual intervention. And that? That's when I knew this was about to get so much worse. Diane stood outside my house with her pastor, her face tight with fake concern. I didn't even bother to open the door fully. I just leaned against the frame, arms crossed. "Why are you here?" I asked, flatly. She let out a long, suffering sigh, like she was the victim here. "Sweetie, I just think we should talk. You've been so hostile lately, and I don't know why. I brought Pastor Greg so we can have a calm, spiritual conversation." Oh, no. She wanted to shame me into obedience. She wanted to play the role of the concerned mother, with a witness by her side, to make me look like the crazy, unreasonable one. Not happening. I smiled sweetly. "Sure, Diane. We can talk. But first, let's make one thing clear." I turned to the pastor. "Pastor Greg, did Diane tell you she tried to move my husband's ex into my home without asking me?" His eyes widened. "What?" I looked at Diane. "Oh, she didn't mention that part?" I gasped, all fake surprise. Wow, that's weird. Because that's exactly what she did. And when I told her no, she called me jealous and told people I was being mean to poor Vanessa. Pastor Greg slowly turned to Diane. "Diane," he said, his voice low, "is that true?" Diane's mouth opened and closed like a fish. She hadn't expected me to flip this on her so quickly. I was just trying to help, Pastor Greg frowned. "Diane, that's completely inappropriate. Why would you interfere in your son's marriage like that?" I almost laughed at how red her face got. But I wasn't done. I pulled out my phone. You know, Diane, I just happened to have screenshots of your texts. The ones where you told me Vanessa was a better fit for Jake. The ones where you said I was jealous. Maybe Pastor Greg should see those? Diane's eyes went wide. You wouldn't. I smiled. Try me. Her hands fisted at her sides, but she knew she had lost. She grabbed the pastor's arm. We're leaving. Oh, so no spiritual conversation now? I asked innocently. She turned bright red but didn't say another word. And just like that, she stormed off, dragging her poor pastor with her. I shut the door in her face and laughed. But I wasn't done yet. Diane had tried to humiliate me. She had tried to manipulate me. She had disrespected me in my own home. So I decided, it was time to teach her a lesson she'd never forget. And I knew exactly how to do it. Diane loved playing the victim to her family. So I made sure everyone knew the truth. I sent one big family group chat message with screenshots of her texts. Me, hey everyone. Just so you all know, Diane invited Jake's ex to live in our house without asking us. When I told her no, she called me jealous and said Vanessa was a better fit for my husband. Thought you'd all want to know the truth since she's been telling people her version of the story. Then I muted the chat and let the chaos unfold. Within minutes, my phone exploded. Diane's sisters went off. Her cousins were horrified. Even her own mother called her and told her she was completely out of line. She called Jake in a rage, but he just laughed and said, maybe don't do things you don't want people to know about. Diane's biggest weapon was guilt. She always ran to Jake when things didn't go her way, trying to turn him against me. So we shut that down completely. Jake blocked her number. I blocked her number. She had zero way to reach us directly. If she wanted to talk, she had to go through Marlene, and Marlene had no patience for her nonsense. Now, for the final blow. Diane had been begging us to host Thanksgiving at our house for years. She always wanted the family to come over, eat at our big table, and show off to her friends that her son had a perfect home. This year? We hosted it. But we didn't invite Diane. Instead, we invited everyone else. Her sisters. Her cousins. Her church friends. Even her own mother. And when Diane heard about it, she called Marlene in a meltdown. They can't do that. That's my family. Marlene laughed in her face. Oh, honey. Actions have consequences. And when Thanksgiving Day came? We all had the most amazing dinner, laughing, drinking, and enjoying ourselves. And Diane? She spent Thanksgiving completely alone. It's been 6 months. Diane tried to reach out a few times. She even tried to send Jake a long, guilt-ridden email about how family should always come first. He didn't respond. Neither did I. Because here's the thing, family doesn't mean putting up with someone's toxic behavior. Diane thought she could control us. She thought she could disrespect me and get away with it. Instead, she lost everything. No more special treatment. No more holidays. No more access to our lives. And now? Jake and I are happier than ever. And Diane? Well, I'm sure she's still telling anyone who will listen that I stole her son. But I don't care. Because at the end of the day, she played a stupid game and won a very stupid prize.